Hey everybody, this is Tiffany with Boss on the Budget, and today we're going to talk about how grant writing is just like dating. Hey everybody, it's Tiffany here. So I want to talk a little bit about your approach to grant writing. I think people who are new to the grant writing process automatically assume it's super complicated. You have to go through all of these trainings and all these certifications. But the bottom line is, once you know the basic rules and you understand the basics of how to write a grant and what that process is like, you'll be pretty good. You don't necessarily need to do a whole lot. And the reality is, even seasoned grant writers come across grants where they have new questions they've never seen before, or there's a new process that they're not used to. So it's not necessarily that you have to be all in the know about everything. You just have to have the basics down. So now that I said that, what are the basics? There's one thing I just really want to talk to you about today about how you should approach your grant writing. Grant writing, in my view, is 25% writing and 75% relationship. It's really about who you know, who you have a relationship with, the people who you know, who they have a relationship with you, who may be connected to your cause, people who care about what you're doing, people who are committed to what you're doing, having like-minded interests and kind of aligning that to move forward. So a lot of what you do as a part of your grant writing, yes, is following the rules and yes, making sure you cross your T's and dot your I's, but a lot of it is what do you do before then? What is the groundwork you lay before then to get to a good place where you're much more marketable and you have an advantage to be able to win the grant over other organizations who may be just like you or maybe doing similar things as you. So I liken grant writing or the approach to grant writing like dating or even courting. Now, if you're young, you may not understand what courting means because we just don't do this anymore. But when you like a person and you want to get to know them better, the way it used to be is that you would find out what they liked, where they went, where they moved, who they hung around. You got to know that person. And once you got to know that person, you put yourself in a position to say, oh, okay, I'm going to do this for this person, or I know they like this type of food, so I'm going to take them there. You got to know the person for who they were so you could understand how you could approach them, right? So you didn't just go cold and say, look, let's do this, right? You went to that person knowing, having a basic understanding of where they were, what they expected, what they liked. And it's the same kind of process when you're looking at funders and you're trying to get grant monies. You need to understand who the funder is, who their staff are. So that's what I mean by who works for them, who's on their board, what do they do? Are they interested in only certain types of topics? Because most foundations or most government funders have a particular topic or topics that they're interested in. And just because you're a nonprofit does not mean that they're just going to give you money. It's usually around a certain topic or a certain issue. So, what are the issues that they're passionate about? What do they like? What do they typically fund? How much do they typically fund? Do they do small grants? Do they do large grants? What types of grants do they give out? Do they love doing project grants where they just give you money for projects? Or do they like doing like capacity building where they help build capacity of nonprofits? Do they do operating funds where you can use the money for just about anything for your nonprofit? Those types of things you need to understand about your funder before you move forward with a grant. Another biggie that you should pay attention to is who have they funded? Are you similar to who they funded, or are you different? And what can you do to make yourself, more attractive, more marketable based on who you know they like to hang around, as in courting or dating, or who you know they like to fund? Having that type of information will put you in a much better place and help you understand how to approach them, how to write your grant, and how to kind of tailor the grant towards what they're looking for, but also it'll help you understand whether or not you should even be applying for the grant. If they typically fund organizations with budgets of $1 million or more, or they give $200,000 grants, and you just started your organization 2 years ago and your budget is $75,000, I want you to know that that is a dream funder. That is a long-term goal. That's not something you should be pursuing right then and there. So that's why it's important for you to know and to court and to date to figure out, is it the right fit for you at this time and point. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the courting piece, how you kind of engage a funder, how do you get them to notice you? So once you know who their people are, what they're interested in, where they like to go, what boards or committees or groups they're a part of, once you know that information, that's how you can get yourself in front of them. Are they typically involved in certain campaigns? Are they a part of a committee or a group that you can join or that you can participate in? Or maybe you can target those type of issues on your social media or hashtag some things they may be paying attention to. That's just one idea for you to think about. Another idea is, who's on their board? Are there people on their board that you know or that your friends know or your board members know to kind of introduce you? So say you have a proposal that you want to pitch, but you need someone who has a personal connection to the funder. So what if you know someone who knows someone on the board? That can get you an in or a call or an interview that you normally wouldn't have if you didn't have that personal connection. So I encourage you to think about it that way. Think about approaching grant writing like you want to date the funder. You're trying to court the funder. It'll give you a much rich experience and it'll be way more worthwhile for you as you start going after grants. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to email me at tiffany@bossonabudget.com. I also have a free Facebook group for people who just want to learn how to do grant writing. It's just a free grant writing support group. The link is in the description box below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share. All right, see you guys next time and happy grant writing.